Hello, I'm Michael Hicks. I'm with University of Missouri Extension Communications and Marketing. Today I want to walk you through a little bit of how to set up the new PA speakers that each region now has access to. And they're real cool in the fact that you can also use them out in the field. If you go fully charged, this battery that's built into the speaker should last you about 12 hours. Now, the first tip I want you to know about these is you can see we put it here on a speaker stand. It's real good to put this on a speaker stand because that allows the sound to be delivered to the people in the audience better. If you put it on the floor and just sit it there, then the sound has to go through the bodies of the people sitting there, and it just isn't as efficient as if you put it up here. So if we look at the stand, you can see here a lot of people have trouble opening these stands up. What I do is I just grasp firmly on two of these legs and I just extend it out like that. And when I set one of these up, if I have space on the floor, what I try to do is make sure that these are even parallel with the floor. So, and then that just tightens down right here. Then the speaker goes on top here. And to raise this up, you just loosen this knob and you raise this up, and you can see that there are holes in here. And this goes through one of the holes there, and I always let it go down and rest on top of the knuckle here, the plastic knuckle, and then tighten it down. The reason I do that is this knuckle is plastic, and I do worry about over time over tightening and whether it can actually bear the weight of putting the speaker on top of here, where with this through it, it's perfectly held down and you don't have to worry about carrying that weight anymore. You will also notice that in your kit you have this extra accessory that goes on the stand. This is for when you use a different type of speaker than the one that we have. So don't worry about putting this on, but do keep it handy and with your kit in case you ever need to change to a different kind of speaker. The speaker itself is real easy to operate. You just turn the power switch on. The first feature you might want to notice is you can sync your phone to this speaker. It does have a Bluetooth enabled connection. There's a blue switch on top. You just power that blue switch on, and then you can use this knob to control the volume from your phone. I'm not going to get into how to set your phone up because everybody has different devices and those are all different. You can just figure out how to make a Bluetooth connection, and with this blue light on, it's going to go ahead and work. This also came with a real nice Bluetooth microphone. You have the microphone itself, which has the transmitter built in, and you have this receiver. And that goes into the slot right here, and it just plugs in. Put that in there nice and firm. And then what I do, the first thing I do is I hold down the pair switch because I want to pair it with my device, and I wait until the amber light's flashing. And then on the microphone, you take the power switch on the microphone and you hold that down and you watch the flashing light, and once the light stops flashing, the two devices are connected. When I'm first setting something up, I keep all the volumes turned all the way down, and so now I can just turn this up a little bit, and you can probably hear a difference in what it sounds like in the room with this turned on. So there's the device turned on. This also is a time to talk about placement of the speaker. I think it's always important, if you have the opportunity, that make sure that the microphone is behind this back wall of the speaker. So if you're up on a stage, you can put this a little bit forward, then this can be on the podium, and it makes a real nice, clean operation that really prevents feedback. we've tested this microphone, and it actually performs really well all around in the room, and it doesn't really offer much feedback. And so this one can work out for audience questions. It's real good to do other things with too. Now, there are going to be occasions where you're not going to want to use an handheld microphone. And for the kit, we have purchased a lavalier mic, and that comes with this receiver. It's real easy to set up. Basically, you just plug the power supply in. You take a standard microphone cable, and that connects into this connection on the back of the receiver. Put it in there firmly till it clicks. There's a button on top of these. You always press the button and then pull backwards to take it apart. There's a power button on the front, so you just make sure it's turned on till the amber red light's lit up. And then here on the top, you can see there's a multi-purpose connection up here, and that will accept a standard XLR mic jack. And so you just line that up, push it in nice and firmly. Now in the transmitter, you put the microphone in here, put it in there firmly, and then just twist that down until it's good and snug. The batteries go inside here. You can see it's a standard 9-volt battery, and there's a pattern on directions inside you can see and how to put the battery in. Now, a feature I think is very confusing that is a handy feature, but also the way it's labeled I don't think is very straightforward. It has 3 settings. It has off, standby, and on. I wish they would have labeled that standby mute, because that's what that really means. So when you're going to use this microphone, you want to make sure it works. Just get it all the way over. Make sure it's in the on position. And I like to clip the microphone, about right there, if I can get that on. And then this just has a clip that you can put on your pocket. If I'm going to be making all the presentations for the day, I'd probably clean this up a little bit and run this cord behind my shirt. If we're going to be trading a lot back and forth, then I would just leave it out like this, but I like it hidden behind most of the time. Now I'll turn this one up. It's the very top one here, and I'll turn it up a little bit, and you can hear that now it is working. Now, we tested both of these microphones quite a bit here in the studio, and we found that this one was very resistant to feedback. It didn't really feedback or want to feedback very often. Unfortunately, the lavalier microphone is kind of prone to feedback, and so then it becomes important that I try to stay away from the front of the microphone. You can hear it in the room now. I'm already on the edge of feedback here just by tilting it around a little bit. But it's a pretty good performer. The range on this seemed to be very good. The one thing that you will need to be aware of if you're going into a hotel conference center, someplace where there might be other microphones, wireless microphones being used, you'll want to make sure that this isn't working on the same frequency that they might be using with their mics, or you might intrude upon their meeting, or their meeting will come across here. Unfortunately, this kit is not tunable. It's set to one fixed channel. So when you get there and you set stuff up and you try it out, if it works, you're going to be in business. If you don't, then you're going to have to rely on using the handheld microphone. And the last thing I should show you with the speaker is it's very easy to charge, and the charger also dual purposes as a power supply for the speaker. So if you're worried about running out of AC for the day, something like that, you didn't get a good chance to charge the battery like you want it to before you left, this just fits into this bottom here, and I'll plug that in, and you can see the light will change to red, which means that it's charging. So this is a real nice simple setup. I think now that you've walked through it, you can see how everything is set up. Just remember to try to not put the microphone in front of the speaker itself in every place you can, and basically I would prefer you guys rely mostly on using this one, but there's no problem with using the Lavalier too if you want to go ahead and use that. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.